Now we're going to change the ignition switch on this, and I have to do a little repair job on the wiring harness. I'm going to show under the seat where the serial number tag is for ordering parts. I had to use that to get the ignition switch for this lawnmower. I had to go through a parts supplier, and I had to have those numbers to find the right ignition switch for it. The ignition switch goes in this hole. I already pulled it out. I wasn't going to do a video on it. I forgot that I can do a video on that. So this plugs into the hole. It is original equipment, but the switch plugs into a wiring harness that is damaged slightly. This is the wiring harness, and I'm going to try to do this without taking this whole thing apart, but right here in front of my thumb there's a bunch of green on one connection. See if we can get a close-up on that. See that green in there? I'm not going to put this thing together with a new switch with that green. I'm going to get that wire out of there, and I think I'm going to have to pull this side cover off this lawnmower to get access to it, because this is just not giving me any room to work, especially if I'm going to record it. So I'm going to go on ahead and take this side cover off. Looks like easy access. Just took off two screws, one here and one here, and it looks like I can just pull this thing out and bend it out of the way. Alright, now I got to get this thing out of here. You got to use something that's sturdy with a strong sharp point. It could be a real skinny nail. It could be a set of miniature needle nose pliers like this. A set of miniature screwdrivers like this, which if you don't have, you need to hurry up and get to the store and get you a set of these. I use them all the time for all sorts of things, these miniature screwdrivers. I don't know where to get them at. I just find them here and there, sometimes at the auto parts store, sometimes at Harbor Freight, or Walmart probably has them, but you got to have these. I'm going to try to do it with this miniature pliers, and let me see if I can get a little bit closer view so I can explain how to get this out a little better. Okay, the spade side of the plug, the side of that goes in the hole, which is the male plugs here. The side of these holes that would go into is not the side that you want to depress. There's a little tab in there, and it's on the back side of that you have to depress, but you got to do it from in here. You got to press that tab down, and I wish I was better at explaining things than I am. I apologize. But the side that male spade goes into is not the side you push. You want to get behind that on the back side of it, and you push that down in there, and then the wire should come out the back side. Let me back out a little bit because I think I'm getting out of camera. I'm pushing that down in there, and it looks like it's going to be a white wire. Untwist this a little bit, get a hold of this white wire from the back side here and pull it out. So it'll let me get a hold of it. There, it came out. Now let me get a close-up on this again. I'm not calling anybody a dummy that already knows how to do this. There are people that have not had to do this before, and they don't know these little tricks, and that's why I'm showing it. This little tab right here on the back side is a one-way lock. I'm going to push it back through if I can get a hold of it. Usually you can just push it through from the inside. This time I can't. I'm going to have to just pull it through from the outside. Pull it back out. And that's all you want, is you want about that much of it sticking out, so that when you push it back in the hole, that slides behind and locks behind a little place inside the hole, and it keeps it in there. Now that's not as dirty as I thought it was. I don't know why I had all that green stuff. Must have just had a loose connection. To make sure that we don't still have a loose connection, we're going to make sure that this tab on the inside here is pushed out enough to make good solid contact against that male prong when it's plugged in there. And I'm still going to spray that and wire brush it a little bit. My favorite little toothbrush-like wire brushes. I got a steel one and a brass one. I'm going to use a brass one on this. Spray a little carb cleaner on it. That's really a lot cleaner than I thought it was. I don't know why all that green stuff was inside that hole. I'm going to spray that with some cleaner and some air. I don't believe that that's why the switch went bad. In fact, I know that it's not. The key broke and just turned freely inside, and so the cylinder inside the switch just broke loose and fell apart in there. Now you got to make sure that this tab is in the right position when you put it back in there. So you just look at the other ones, see how they are and what the shape of the hole is. Make sure you put it in there the same way. Just like this. And then listen to it for it to click into place. I heard it click and it's not coming back out. Now look in the front. Yep, we're in there good and tight. So that's how you get those out of there. We just line up our plugs. Put everything in there nice and snug. Switch just plugs in there like that. Need a little choke. Thanks for watching.